if you find yourself with a camera in your hand and you want to learn how to use it, please subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment down below what you would like to learn more about. Hi Photos photographers. Today we're talking about selling your product, your service, your prints as a photographer. It's a little bit more business styled discussion today, but perhaps you are you're not really into the idea of selling. I wasn't really either. It's something that I began to realize just because I had a bad perception of salespeople. They were high pressure. They didn't really seem to listen to me. They didn't show me what I wanted to see. You know, all those different things wasn't because they were a salesperson. I mean, to be truthful about it, they really weren't selling. I mean, they obviously didn't get a conversion from me of a prospect to a client. So, you know, are they really a salesperson if they're really getting money out of a deal? I would say no. I would also say I wasn't doing very well as a salesperson in photography either, because I wasn't pushing for a lot of deals. But then the sales I have gotten, I could have gotten a lot more sales. I did a 20 by 30 print, and I probably could have gotten a lot more prints, sold for a lot more. 20 by 30 print would actually run somebody close to $300 probably. All I really did was, like I said, I wasn't a very good salesperson, but I covered the costs I saw. It was a picture I'd had for a long time. I didn't really perceive of getting any value out of it, but I had the client pay the cost of printing. And then I had it printed at a good quality, made sure the file was capable of being printed at the size they wanted. And then I waited for maybe 5 days to have it printed, because the shop wanted to be able to print it in batch. So they were printing other large, or at that point they were printing posters on the same paper stock. So it was kind of interesting, but I made sure that I was able to get the quality I wanted, the quantity I wanted, at the price I needed, and then pass the savings on to the client. Now, I don't suggest doing that. Provide a quality, provide a service that is good and the client finds respectable. That's primarily why they came to you, is they like the style of your shooting. Tip number one for being a good salesperson: put up your profile and your portfolio online. Let people see what you do and how you do it. Not necessarily with your process and how you get it done, but let them see what's going to take, so that in the process of their shoot, they're not uncomfortable with the process. So does that... I want to be able to express to you, and if this doesn't make sense, drop me a comment in the comments below. Let them see your process of getting something shot that they will see anyway in the process of getting portraits done. And that way, nothing that is in the process will be a surprise to them. But that doesn't mean you have to show them how the sausage is made. They don't need to know all the details of the back-end processing and where you get your photos printed. You see what I'm saying? Part of the conversion of a prospect into a client, from my experience, is somebody didn't have the answer, and so they allowed an answer to a question that really didn't matter, but made them comfortable enough to say, I'm going to go with that person. Does that make sense? So I was just removing the excuses from that potential client and answering something that would have been an objection, but really it was only an objection until they got the answer. So really it was an excuse, right? So is it an objection or is it an excuse? I found they were excuses, but it was an objection that would have been something that was just causing a stop of a sale until they had the answer. Once they had the answer, then they realized it was an excuse and it was something that they didn't really care about. Yeah, the information was interesting to them, I'm sure. But they also aren't coming to me because I know what to do. They're coming to me because I do it. See, the importance there is, as photographers, we can know a lot of things, but if we don't put it into action, they're not going to come be our client. Point number 2, after the style of photography, is they come and they will be your client because of your personability. If you're easy to work with and you make them smile and you help them get through the awkward or the uneasy times in the portrait, they are going to have a, quote, good time, and they're going to want to come back to you because they know they had a good time with you, and they're going to want to duplicate the good feeling. They're going to want you to duplicate the good shots, but they're going to want to come back to you because they had a good feeling with you on a private previous portrait shoot. Then tip number 3 is a quality of work and service. We talked before about doing something for your clients and give kind of thing of doing something for your client that perhaps they didn't ask for, but is being thoughtful toward the client. Somebody comes, say you shoot in a studio and your client comes in and you say, thank you for coming right on time. I'm running a few minutes late. Would you like a water? And they say, yes, please. Well, don't just bring them the cold bottle of water from the fridge. Also bring a napkin, a glass, and the ice already filled in the glass so that they could pour it over the ice in the glass and drink from the glass if they wanted to. If they don't want the glass, they don't have to have it, but you provided the convenience and the it's not about emotional manipulation, but it's that class of service. That class of service is you brought a napkin you didn't have to bring, you brought a glass that you didn't have to bring, and you even went so far as to think of putting ice in the glass. So if they wanted to drink their cool water over ice in a glass, they had it, as well as having a napkin. So you give, napkin, glass, ice, all there in the same thing. So that's the quality of work and service that people are going to come back to you as a photographer for, whether you go on location or in studio. And even if you shoot on location and there's a cafe nearby, and you ask them if they want water while you get something switched out, see if that cafe will let you, sit the client down at a table out on the patio with a glass of ice, water, napkin. Just do the work and ask for your client. Serve them like waiting on them hand and foot, so that they don't have to do anything. They have everything provided for them. Make them feel like a $1 million client. And the good feeling from being served and having that personality of who you are and thinking about every possible need and all the quote unquote creature comforts that they could have, you saw to and you made sure that they had them, is an attention to detail and care for the client that they're going to want to duplicate, and that feeling that they will want, knowing that they will get it from you and your service. To recap, we have the style of photography, we have the personability in your work and your detail to what you do and how you do it, your post-process, kind of going along with your style, but getting them through the shoot also, and then your quality of work and your service. Those 3 things are very important to get worked out and make sure that you have everything in your package set up and ready to go for your client. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not yet a subscriber, we would love to have your subscription. Thank you so much. Have a great day. God bless.